Hello, everyone. This is PamelaTopjian, and today I'm gonna kind of go down a rabbit hole with you. We're gonna talk about existentialism, consciousness, sentience, sentient beings, and AI. So stick with me. I may ramble a bit, and please excuse this crazy hair I'm having today, but looking up the definition of existentialism from Merriam-Webster is it's chiefly a 20th century philosophical movement embracing diverse doctrines, but centering on analysis of individual existence in an unfathomable universe, and the plight of the individual who must assume ultimate responsibility for acts of free will without any certain knowledge of what is right or wrong or good or bad. That last part, I'm not sure. But anyway, what stands out to me in this definition, and what I really wanted to talk about mostly, was the part that says the analysis of individual existence, how we exist in the world, who we are at that core level, and why are we here. Big topics for sure, but something I've been thinking a lot about. And not just lately, but off and on throughout my life, really. But more lately, just been really deep diving in this rabbit hole. So I wanted to talk to you about it. Another interesting part of the definition is the unfathomable universe. We really don't know or fully understand the universe, right? We have knowledge, theories, and maybe even an understanding of aspects of space, but the universe is still mostly a mystery. But to bring it back to the individual, to us and other humans and other beings, who are we and do we even know? It's hard to answer the question of who are you without your labels, your titles, the roles that you play in the world, but it's such a good thing to kind of contemplate and ponder on, isn't it? For some people, religion might play a role in some of this, of course. We could say that who we are at the core level is our soul, or even just pure love, or back to space and the universe. Or we could say, as Carl Sagan did, we are all made of star stuff. That full quote is, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself." So I want to share this meditation that I've done for decades. And it might sound a little dark at first, but stay with me. You'll see where I'm going. So I imagine or I visualize that my body is no longer alive and it's on a sandhill in a desert. And what's left is drying up, of course, deteriorating and decaying pretty fast because it's a desert. But my consciousness or my soul is the observer in the meditation. And what's left is that body. So just starting the meditation with that in mind and being aware. I have yet to get any kind of profound insights from this, but it feels important to have this awareness. I think that ball of light, which is how I see myself in my soul or my consciousness above that body, that light should go somewhere, I would think. It should be able to then maybe dissipate or travel, right? And just speaking this out loud, I might want to change the focus somehow to sort of prompt the meditation with that in mind. Not so much on the observer of the physical self from the different vantage point, but okay, we got that. We've been doing that, figuring that out for decades. Now, let's focus on the next step in the path for that light that was somehow came out of that body or was somehow from that body, kind of hovering around that body decaying on the hill. That was me. So where is that going to go next? Maybe focus on that in that meditation. And I just had another thought too while I'm saying this is I do have a playlist of guided visualizations and meditations. I haven't done one in a long time, but if you are interested in me doing a guided meditation or a guided visualization on that, let me know because maybe I can do one. Maybe I can record one. Another interesting aspect of consciousness that I've been thinking a lot about is the AI programs, specifically like the chat ones. So, this is kind of a philosophical discussion about sentient beings, consciousness, animals, and the AI chatbots. How are these beings different, and how are they the same? And then what does that mean? What does that mean for all of us here on Earth? If we, the humans, have this physical vessel and our so-called programming is really from our physical makeup, like our DNA and our brain chemistry, as well as our life experiences as we move through the world. That's our programming, right? So, what makes us conscious or sentient? And how are the AI chatbots different? Well, the vessel is different. There are no real feelings or opinions, right? Or do they? I think we are in the infant stages of this whole chatting with AI bots right now. And I don't think that I'm going to live long enough. I'm 60 this year. I don't think I'm going to live long enough to see the full expression of what it's going to become. There's an evolution that needs to take place, like early humans. I don't think that we fully understand. I don't think even the creators fully understand right now if it has the potential to become conscious of itself and how it experiences things. It learns, right? It learns or it updates from what we feed into it. So, isn't that the same or similar to our own life experiences? Some, myself included, obviously, from my meditation I just shared, believe that we are so much more than this vessel that we are in. The physical self is an experience for our soul. That's how I feel about it. Or our spirit or consciousness. Some people don't believe that animals are sentient beings, and those who know me well know that I certainly do. So, what makes us sentient? Well, it's the ability to have feelings and emotions, right? So, anyone who has had pets or works with animals knows for sure that animals have feelings. There's some quote that I wish I had written down by Jane Goodall about, if you've lived with a dog, then you know that they are all have their own personal feelings and emotions, something like that. I don't know the quote. I will put it below. I will put it in the description because it's going to drive me crazy. I just wrote down the Carl Sagan one. And I'll put that one below too. This might be where the line is, where that hard line is for AI chatbots. But let's get further, right? What are feelings? What is consciousness? What is existence? I mean, this is the issue with philosophical questions. It's a deep and convoluted rabbit hole, and just trying to find clarity in a very muddy pond. Even so, I do think it's important to discuss and to ponder and to contemplate. So I think I'm getting off the topic of existentialism here. I'm not sure. It's all connected somehow. But I think it's an interesting conversation, or I may just be rambling. So at least to me, it's interesting, and I'm kind of glad even to just talk it out, right? Even if I am rambling, if that's how it looks on the other side of this, but it's good to talk it out. Any kinds of deep thoughts that you're having, it's kind of good to just talk it out or even write out what you're thinking and feeling. It helps gain a little more clarity or understanding, even if not the concepts, but just on how you're thinking about it. So this is all just a really age-old question. who am I and what am I and what is my existence here for? Back in something like the 1600s, there was René Descartes. He said, I think, therefore I am. Trying to figure this out in their explanation is thinking the dividing factor, but saying I am, is that the same as saying I have consciousness? Or is it saying I know that I exist because I think? Okay, so do computers think? Do they exist? And computer programs, do they think? Do they exist? What makes them think? And yes, humans program them, but then do they learn with the use? I mean, I've talked about this a little earlier here. So how is this different than humans? We are created by other humans, and then we learn as we go through life. And so much of what we learn as we go through life is through our interaction with other humans, right? So how is that different? I realize I'm getting into a little loop here in this train of thought. So I find it interesting, and the melding and the overlapping of spiritual teachers, philosophers, scientists, and now tech people. I think philosophers and spiritual people have always had an overlap, and science kind of comes and goes with that as well. But now tech people are involved in trying to, or at least discussing, the concept of consciousness and existence. I think that this is a good place to end. And I want to delve deeper into our human existence and who we are without bringing up the AI stuff. But it's also fascinating to me, and it's also connected. And I have been thinking a lot about it lately, obviously. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Please share in the comments. Do you ever do a deep dive into this rabbit hole as well? Do aliens and or biology fit in this discussion? How about evolution and tech advancements and the similarities? I'll try to record a more human-focused existentialism discussion next week. But if you have any suggestions for a topic of discussion, please let me know. And usually I'm talking more on self-help, self-care, mental health, or holistic health, but I'm open to discussing whatever I find interesting. And I'm hoping that somebody else here will as well. So I'll see you next Sunday for a Holistic Connections episode. You can find all of them in the playlist. There's a new one every Sunday. And then next Wednesday, I'll be here maybe talking about the more human side of the discussion of existentialism. So if you stayed to the end and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all.